Welcome back, everyone, to round 2 of the mini-series here at ISSA headquarters. We got Luis here, and we've got quite the quick conversation. Our last one went a little long, so we're going to try and keep these a little shorter. We could talk all day, but we're not going to.
No, we're not. We're going to dive into it.
We're going to dive straight into it.
All right.
So first, Luis, let's start with an introduction, background, and then just go right into our fun little 2 truths and a lie.
All right. Sounds good. So my name is Luis da Costa. Actually, I have a long name, as all Brazilians do, but I go for Luis da Costa. I am from Brazil. I'm in the US since 2007, and I own a company named Modular Concepts out of Marlborough, Massachusetts, which is about 40 minutes from Boston.
All right.
Yeah. So 2 truths and a lie. All right. So let's go. So I was a semi-professional soccer player in Brazil until I got injured. That's one. The second one is I once was arrested or detained by helping a victim of a car accident in a remote area of Brazil. Now, third,
Man.
it took me almost 16 years to completely have my right to live in the US, like all my papers in order, until I finally got it last year. So 1, 2, 3.
Wow. That is incredible.
These
Those
go
are
hard.
so good. Dang it. Okay.
So the first one, I had a sales rep one time with the exact same story. He was from Brazil.
Okay.
And he was a semi-pro.
Awesome.
And he said, oh, no, it's very common. So I think that one's a truth.
Okay. Okay.
The arresting thing.
I actually think the arresting thing is real. And then the paperwork thing is real. I think the soccer player is not real.
But the paperwork thing could have been like, oh, it only took 10 years instead of 16.
I know, but the level of detail, you always have to think that. Again, I always get these wrong, so really don't listen to me. You just go with
I'll go with 1.
Okay, I'm going to go with, wait, no, I said that 1.
Oh, sorry. I think.
Okay, I know, he's like,
I think 3
is a lie.
But the timeline about the paperwork, something is a lie.
I think 1 is the lie.
Okay. So you're right.
Yes, I knew it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Although I played a lot, and
It wasn't semi-pro.
Okay.
and I never semi-pro.
Okay, I knew it.
Small details.
See, I knew it. I knew it. All right. Those are really good. I'm so impressed.
And I think I'm your first win. So.
I think so too. 100%. My family, I always tell Caden this, my family always teases me. They're like, you're so bad at that. I'm like, listen, I'm very confident when I answer though. Okay, so we are going to get right into it. And the question is, again, we're here for the Are You Doing workshop, right? So we're talking about acquisition, retention, and expansion. So the question is, which part of your business grew unexpectedly? And what do you wish you had in place to support it?
Yeah. So our business is, we all say that our business is different, but it's not really different. It's, same thing. It's cleaning. It's, involves all the elements and everything. We just had a different approach to it. So we work with no contracts, right? So contrary to all my colleagues here and there's nothing wrong about that. I always make that disclaimer. It's not the best way. It's not the only way. It's just my way.
It's just
Right.
one way.
Right.
Yeah, and it works for us, and that's good. So we work with no contracts. We are completely relationship based in our approach to business and to life in general. So one thing that I certainly could benefit of being better prepared, because I never believed, let's say, in public schools or government contracts or services or servicing, like things that involve government, being that local or statewide or federal, because I knew that would involve a contract, that would involve, having not a subcontractor, but an employee, and we work with subs and everything. So I never really went after those customers until recently we got the opportunity to do strip and wax and a lot of floor service for a school from the district in our area. And that was like a huge increase for us in all aspects. And because we did such a good job in terms of getting those services, like not just executed, but they never saw anything like that. And it's not because we are amazing, although we are amazing, but it's because mostly in that scenario of public schools and everything, all the people doing that kind of work, they are there for 30 years. Yeah. They're about to retire. They are doing strip and wax as it was done in 86. So we get there with all the equipment, all the knowledge, all the experience. And we did in 3 weeks what they couldn't do in 3 months.
Oh, wow.
And it was never so well done. Like everybody was like impressed. So that brought us to now have 7, 8 people now there doing regular service.
Yeah.
Because also 5 hours of our people gives them more productivity than 8 hours of their people.
Yeah.
And certainly at a lower cost, because again, if you're 30 years there, like your salary and your benefits and all that stuff,
Exactly.
and every time like they get on some kind of medical leave or like day offs, or they have no service. Why with us? They always have the service, because if Maria is not there, then John is going to go and cover
Right.
for that. So
Right.
they are like, they can't believe that, such a level of service exists, can
Yeah.
be provided, and at a lower cost overall for them. However, because we are always like set on our ways with subcontractors and with, the relationship, no contracts. So we never focus on that. And I could have 10 people, or I think we have 10 now. I could have more people there because there is the need, but I wasn't prepared for that in terms of having the
I
people
see.
with, like the designs,
Right.
all the
Yeah.
stuff that you need to have in order to have employees, not subcontractors. So we do have like a hybrid model,
Okay.
but it's much heavier in subcontracting. And that's not going to work for that kind of customer. But it was an eye-opening that there is an entire industry or segment in terms of opportunities there for us that we're not exploring that because we just didn't know about it or didn't believe it could be done. So I would say that's, although we're doing that, I wish I was like ready right away to do that and pursuing that, which we never did.
That's interesting, because I think one of the things that keywords that stuck out as you're talking through this is like, obviously relationship. A relationship allows you to expand because essentially a customer, you have formed that relationship, you were able to expand, retain. But from your perspective, and what I'm hearing too is you were presented an opportunity that's not like your primary vertical, right? But you were presented the opportunity. And I think one of the things that it's a recurring theme or narrative within the BSC community is this concept of resiliency. And also, we just don't say no. We don't say no. Any opportunity comes our door, we're like, we'll do it. We can do it. We'll figure it out. And I think that's what I'm hearing from your perspective. So talk us through, because you're saying, we got this opportunity, we're growing. So what's your mindset now in terms to essentially optimize this opportunity and keep growing it?
Yeah. So for us, as I said, like we are super heavy in relationship. And I always say that it's because I am super heavy in relationship, right? So whoever owns a company and you guys probably can attest to that, the company tendencies, biases, and values, those are yours.
Right.
Because it just
Of course.
transcends to the
alignment.
business. So,
Right.
yeah. And not just that, but also the people after 4 or 5 years that were established, the people that stuck with you, it's because they share those values that, that kind of vision that you have. So I always say that if you're like a dishonest person and you are running a dishonest business, you're gonna, in the end, work with dishonest people.
Yes.
And the other way around as well. Very committed, very, very relationship oriented. After, a certain time, that's the people that's going to stay with you just for the identification and everything. So based on that, like this opportunity came to us through relationships. Because in my neck of the woods, I'm very active in terms of community, like giving back, participating, being the board of directors of the local hospital, of the Chamber of Commerce, of the Economic Development Corporation, of the area and everything. So that brings us relationships, and that opportunity came through, someone that I met and then start working in other projects. And I said, why don't you do our school floor? So I said, yeah, I would do it because that's all we do, right?
Right.
We don't say no.
We never say no.
Yeah. And that's the kind of the entrepreneur vibe or gene or virus that, you just go after that and go for it. So for us, this kind of opportunity that it came organically, I would say.
Yes.
Just like everything else. I was watching the previous episode with
You got a listener here.
yeah, and I was thinking about that because like she's in a different stratosphere in terms of revenue, number of people, and everything. And I was also in other events, and it's all about growth and everything. And there's nothing wrong about that. But for me, it's always about taking care of what we have and never gaining the next customer at the expense of the previous one.
Right.
So that's the organic growth. So I don't want to, I would gladly go to, 200 employees and $10 million. That's fine, but that's never the goal. The goal for me is to take care of what we have
Right.
such a good care that organically, getting to 200 employees or 500 or $10 million in revenue is the consequence of whatever we are doing right now with what we have. So I really don't, and again, because I'm the owner, I have no outside pressures
Right.
for me to, like, you need to grow 20%. I said, no, we are very focused on profit, not on revenue, and in keeping rather than necessarily growing for the sake of growth. To come here and say, hey, I'm at 10 million. Again, nothing against. I mean, I applaud, like people like Shani, like all the things, like awesome things, different things that they are.
Sure.
But I do believe, again, that we are, again, coming back to the values and everything, and coming back to relationships, like this for me is just like how we establish things in terms of how we work, how we treat people.
Exactly.
In all levels, right? From the director to the janitor, to our employees, to our subcontractors, to everything. So I think we get those opportunities and they come to us based on that, based on the way we put ourselves out there and to give back, to participate, and end up coming back to us. And so far, so good.
I love what you just said about it's not about revenue, it's about profit. And I think the reason why you can kind of hone in on it is because of relationships, is because you can say, you value my partnership and I value yours, that we can have this type of business model. Because I will tell you, being in a competitive industry in like the DC market, when you do have those established relationships, but you're going down to, low bid only, you cannot justify a 10% management fee. You can no longer, right? Everyone's asking for 6%. But for your perspective, you've built a relationship, a trusted organic relationship over years. So when you come to the table and say, this is the pricing, this is the increase, you trust me enough as a vendor to justify the 10, the 12, whatever it is. And they're like, this is my team. This is who I want to work with.
It's interesting because, again, that was the choice to not like go after Bank of America or government, because I know for that kind of customer, my differential is not perceived. And that's something that I preach every day. If your differential is not perceived, it has no value.
Exactly.
So no one's going to pay for that.
Right.
So what's my differential? It's commitment. It's being there. It's, and unless my targets can perceive that, I shouldn't be there. So if I'm gonna put a bid on Bank of America, it's gonna be the best price possible with the most service possible. And there are people that can do it way better than I can do. So I shouldn't be there. Now, if I can get to a certain Class A building and develop a relationship with the manager or the managed company, where they will realize that, man, this guy is committed, so they will never miss a day of work, or they will take care of things that are not under their purview just because they're seeing that, they're not ignoring. So all that stuff has value. So now I'm not talking price anymore. I'm talking about a genuine partnership.
Exactly.
Where we benefit each other, where you can trust me. And that, of course, it's niche.
Yeah.
It kind of limits our possibility of growth. But again, if I can be super profitable within, $3 million and make the same as, other companies will elect to do with $10 million, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
And that's my nature, and everything is not, I'm not have ambitions or anything. It's just like the way I choose, chose to work.
Yeah.
And as long as you compensate well my employees, my subcontractors, and deliver the promises that we made to the customer, then I'm fine with that. Now it's my job is to keep that. And again, the next opportunity that will come, we're gonna take care of that too. I know it's crazy. It's not that sounds crazy. It is crazy. I have no sales team. I have no marketing team. I have no effort to go out looking for sales. There is not a customer that I went there offering something. Everything we have came through us through either Google, because someone Google and read the reviews, but mostly from satisfied customers that refer us to others.
I think effort is not the right word, because you're going out and you're leading with the fact that you want to help your community, right? That's always the primary. But as a result, to your point, organically, you're forming relationships, and now they're saying, how can I support you as well? I have this opportunity. So it's very organic. So I think that's one of the things that in this industry, relationship is super important. And that's not creative, but I think that's a great way to start the conversation and broker that and say, first, I'm going to lead with heart. I'm going to lead with what matters to me, what impact I can make. And then you start to understand people. And then sometimes you could say, and I think it's happened to me several times, if I'm not a good partner, if I can't, I will be the first to tell you, do not change janitorial companies. This would not be good for you.
Yeah.
Crazy goes, like, I went to a school, like a private school. They had amazing cleaning.
Yeah.
They really didn't. And that's what I told
Yeah.
you, look, man, I'll tell you something. I would love to service you, but you're good.
Exactly.
I don't think, maybe
Yeah.
I can save you some money, but I don't think you should change, because
Exactly.
it's so hard to change. And
100%.
keep it. If someday, they start like to change or anything like that, then call me. But right now, you're good.
100%.
But it's interesting that you said, because it is true. I'm involved in the community. When I say no effort, you're right. There is a lot of effort, but it's not necessarily I don't grab the phone to call a customer.
Right.
Like, hey, I heard
Traditional sales, right?
And again, it's not the only way, not the best way.
Right.
It's just our way. And for us, what that made so far is our EBITDA. It's about 36%. While for our industry in general, people are happy with 7 to 11%.
Right.
So
Wow.
that means that as for comparison, at a $1 million, I make as much money as a $3 million company does.
Yeah.
And now we are getting up, near the $3 million, and we have like 85 people.
Yeah.
So it's not much people, like the office is me and my son. So we're very
lean.
very lean.
Yeah.
And we're going to grow as it's necessary. But again, I think the beauty of all that stuff is that we're very happy with what we do. We don't have like the pressure to grow, like just to say, and the relationship thing, it goes like 360, right? In terms of not just the community, but also employees, even my entire life, like family. I'm not religious, but I certainly have a relationship with God. We are super blessed, and I know it's not because of me, it's in spite of me.
Yeah.
So that's, I guess, or I think that when someone is looking for a company in our area and they find someone that can be genuine and authentic and really be interested in providing or delivering the promises, that's kind of our main card that we present. And sometimes, it work and people will hire us, and sometimes we won't, and that's fine. Our oldest customer is with us for as old as our company is.
Oh, really?
Yes. So right now it's 17 years.
Wow.
Yes. So, and we have customers for 14 years, for 12 years. And also we have employees and subs that are with us for 12 years, 13 years, 8 years. So again, I don't think it can be replicated in the thousands. Like, I don't think like a JLL can do that, because it's just a different, different
business strategy.
But I think what I'm hearing too is a level of peace, right? Yeah. You have a level of peace being at this place right now because you are confident in the service delivery. You're confident in the trust. You're confident in the relationship. And you know that your team and your culture is set up the same way. Like, you guys are committed to retain, so much so that you can go to bed at night every night knowing we're good. We're going to hold this fort down. Yeah. And that's a great feeling, because I will tell you, again, coming from the DC market, things change so rapidly. And no matter how many dinners, no matter how many lunches we do, you just never know. And you have that like pin in the back of your stomach. You're like, oh my gosh, are we going to lose this contract? Are we going to lose it? So that's what I'm hearing. Peace.
Yeah, no, it's true. The company's name is Modular because we put those three modules together, like areas, frequency, and tasks.
Okay.
Which everybody deals with that, but I've never heard of someone that put that in the system. We as I said, like, we didn't invent anything, but we just used the elements that were there and put them together. And even the relationship, like, we didn't invent performance-based commitment, but we just made it our thing.
Sure.
So much so that it's our tagline is commitment at your service. It's kind of a double meaning. Commitment at your service. So
get it?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I get it. Perfect.
But that's it. And like, being in an environment like this with ISSA, and last year we were here, and it's so interesting and rich, because I thought, like, man, I did this and I did that, and it's so different. And then you got like a Dan Schindler, and he comes here and talks about all the things that I do, and he does it like exponentially more. I thought it was so exclusive.
Yeah.
But it's good, like, to have that, to see that other people are doing this in different areas, not just because you can be inspired, but also because it validates what you're doing and shows that you're not that crazy.
100%. Well, we got into it. And
We did.
Of course, we can't
Serena
stop at
just kept
15
asking
minutes. I'm
follow-up questions.
sorry. And then I wanted to go into like your son and how that's changing, but we have to have another episode on that.
We'll do another part 2.
Yeah, we will. We have to. So awesome to have you. Thank you so much for sharing your story. What an incredible, and I also want to do an episode about your relationships and how, because there's a lot here, guys.
Yes, there's a lot to unpack from what you were just diving into. Obviously, it's not growth at all costs, which is a different business model, and it works just as well, but you've retained at a level that is not normal for other entities. So we'll definitely do a 2-parter.
Yes.
So thanks, Luis, for joining.
Yes.
Hopefully you got some gold nuggets out of that. Thanks for joining, everyone.